Good morning and welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. The Supreme Court on Friday ruled that individual judges lack the authority to grant nationwide injunctions.
However, we still don't know the fate of Trump's restrictions on birthright citizenship. So we're going to discuss this in studio now with former senior advisor to the Department of Homeland Security and retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Berney, as well as retired INS Senior Special Agent Michael Cutler, and finally our special guest of the day and CEO of Alexo Athletica, Amy Robbins. Good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us. Berney, coming to you first here as a Senior Advisor to DHS under Secretary Mayorkas, you oversaw immigration policy during a period of time where there was significant reform efforts. How do you view this Supreme Court ruling in light of that?
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for having me on, Sarah and TW. I see this Supreme Court ruling as progress. We've had liberal judges that have been usurping the constitutional authority, and they've been allowed to get away with this too long. And I think our president has got the right people behind him, and we've got positive movement. And this is just one of the gates that we have to go through to restore our constitutional authority. So I think this is just absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Now, Michael, I think the crux of the question, though, is does the original intent, does this align with the original intent of the 14th Amendment in this ruling?
I do believe that, absolutely. This was about restoring or providing to former slaves full citizenship. It's something that needed to be addressed. It was addressed effectively in the 14th Amendment. So to see the 14th Amendment now being applied to provide citizenship to the children of illegal aliens really goes way off base. And what it has led to is birth tourism. So many people from all over the world coming to the United States in any way, shape, or form simply to have a child, and that child ultimately then has the authority as an American citizen to petition for the parents to come to the United States as resident aliens. This would bring that stuff to a complete halt, and it's long overdue in my judgment.
Amy, your opinion, do you agree? Is it long overdue?
This is a step in the right direction, absolutely, because we have been looking for a very long time about stopping the incentivization of illegal immigration, and that is what this is doing. We can no longer be a magnet to attract people who just want to come here and be a burden on the American taxpayer. So this isn't about racism like the Democrats are trying to scream. This is actually about fairness.
Yeah, good point. There is certainly a difference here, and always you can play a racism card if it's a situation that is, can be a little sensitive. They can pull that one out. But at the end of the day, this is about protecting your own first and foremost. I'm sure of it. But look, I want to change topics a little bit here. The president hoped to rally the troops as the votes soon get underway for the big, beautiful bill. That's going to be an event that they're hosting today at the White House with Tom Homan. He was making it clear why this bill must pass in order to, quote, make America safe again.
This is a nonpartisan issue. Let's make this country safe again. So the Democrats and the Republicans and the Independents, I don't care who you're from, pass the bill so we can make this country safe, so we can stop the violence against ICE officers. Let's make this country safe again. And without that bill, it's going to be a hard road.
So, Berney, what do you reckon? Is it going to be a hard road for the big, beautiful bill?
It's going to be a close shave, but we're going to win. The bottom line is this has to be passed. Remember a few years ago when Congress wouldn't give the president in his first term the ability to build a wall? Well, this big, beautiful bill is going to give us the ability to build that wall and fund those ICE agents that are going to protect us. So anybody who goes against that, I believe, should be primary, to tell you the truth. But that's just how I feel.
Yeah, the president has mentioned very similar. But, Michael, we also know the Trump administration has been very successful in doing exactly what they promised in the campaign, which is to curb the number of border crossings. But when we look at the bill, obviously there's funding for more border security. Are there ways that this bill can be improved that will actually help get it over the line?
Well, there's one thing that I would love to see the administration go after, and it's the notion of providing illegal aliens with driver's licenses. I would love to see the administration stop providing highway funds to any state that provides illegal aliens with driver's licenses. If you look around the world, almost every time there's been a terrorist attack, motor vehicles have played a role. Wherever you go throughout the world, there are barriers against car bombs and truck bombs. Meanwhile, in the United States, we have these so-called sanctuary states that provide illegal aliens with driver's licenses, and we're not even able to verify who these folks actually are. It undermines national security and public safety, and this is an issue that I think would really be important for the administration to embrace and make it clear that there's a clear distinction between aliens who enter the United States illegally versus aliens who violate our laws and create a threat to public safety and national security.
Yeah. Amy, final thoughts.
Yeah, this bill isn't perfect, but at the end of the day, this is how we get things done in this country. There's always going to be compromise. And when we look at this bill, we know that there are pieces that do prioritize American safety. It prioritizes Americans first with our economy. And so I do think that we need to get a deal done and make this happen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, well said. Berney Flowers, Michael Cutler, Amy Robbins, thank you all so much for joining us.